Now let's take a look at this chart. Now let me kind of break down this chart to you just a little bit. This is a chart in regard to animals, in this particular case, mice, which were fed a diabetes-inducing diet. In this case, a high-fat diabetes-inducing diet. Now you have three groups, Group 1, Group 2, Group 3. Group 1 was given Stevia, or received Stevia, throughout the entire trial. Group 2 received Stevia in the first part of the trial, hence the black line, and then Stevia was removed from their diet for the remainder of the trial. Group 3, no Stevia whatsoever. But now look at what happened. Take Group 1, which is fed Stevia throughout the entire trial. Now in this case, the points on the graph, the lower the numbers, the better. And look at the success that Stevia had with Group 1. Group 2, which was given Stevia partway through the trial and then had the Stevia removed from the diet, started to lose control of the blood sugars. In fact, the blood sugar control became just as bad as Group 3, which received no Stevia at all. Pretty interesting results in regard to that graph. This graph carries out to further trials and further studies. It shows a great success for Stevia in regard to glucose or blood sugar control. All right, let's get right into the public citation title so we understand a little bit more. It goes as follows, or the public title I should say. Researchers unravel how Stevia controls blood sugar levels. Researchers state as follows: what makes Stevia taste so extremely sweet? Now, to digress, I first did Stevia, and when Stevia first came out, it was like, bleh. However, though, they've made incredible progress in regard to having Stevia taste sweeter, or I should say more consumer friendly. And they also tested the glycosides, the other component to Stevia, which gives it a little bit less bitter taste and a more of a sweet flavor. As we proceed, and how does the sweetener keep a blood sugar level under control? And once again, another paradox. Often you'll hear, well, artificial sweeteners don't work because they taste sweet. In this case, a natural sweetener alternative to sugar, we'll just say, but they always worried about the taste of sweet causing poor blood glucose control. But in this case, the Stevia, that didn't occur, hence the paradox. But to move on, researchers discovered that Stevia stimulates a protein that is essential for our perception of taste and is involved in the release of insulin after a meal. The results create new possibilities for the treatment of diabetes. The plant-based sweetener is also believed to have a positive effect on blood sugar levels, although nobody understood why. Obviously, until now. Study parameters are as follows. Citation title for the researchers. Steviol glycosides enhance pancreatic beta cell function and taste sensation by potentiating of TRPM5. Sorry, I almost misspelled it. Channel activity. DOI citation is as follows. Funding. No conflicts of interest, which is cool. Study participants was in vitro and in vivo, so both animal and test tube. Study length varied depending on the test. Dosage and materials. This is important. Review that as you see, because it actually gives you the dosage that was given to the animals if someone was attempting to make a human comparison. Always work with your medical professional ahead of time before deciding to go through any treatment paradigm. Just saying that as a disclaimer. Source. Not mentioned, however, those steviosides and ribidosides are the active components of stevia extract and are fairly common. Results, and this is to quote them. Our experiments have shown that the active component of stevia extract, steviosides and steviol, stimulate the ion channel, TRPM as in Mary 5. The proteins known as ion channels are a kind of microscopic pathway through which minuscule charged particles enter and leave the cell. The more important part, TRPM5 also ensures that the pancreas releases enough insulin. For instance, after a meal, therefore it helps prevent abnormally high blood sugar levels and the development of type 2 diabetes. Henceforth, that's how stevia has that paradoxical action. It tastes sweet, yet it helps with insulin and blood sugar control through the enhancement of certain proteins. So, a caveat to that, which is also important, but amazing in itself, you'd figure, well, if stevia helps keep blood sugars down. What about hypoglycemia? Au contraire. Yet, even at very high levels of intravenous IV administration of stevioside and steviol, they do not induce hypoglycemia according to the further research conducted by the experimenters. And to conclude, now this is going to leave up interesting too. It's important because the high use of antibiotics. So now we kind of know how stevia affects the insulin levels and helps get better control of the blood sugar levels itself. But there was one other incredibly neat thing about stevia that was not mentioned in the prelude to the study. In regard to destruction of the microbiome, let's say for example through antibiotics, stevia somehow has the unique effect of helping with this protein and therefore maintaining proper blood sugar control, even though the microbiome, which plays a huge part in the prevention of diabetes, may get destroyed or damaged. This is what they state as follows. Finally, the gut microbiome is an important factor in the development of metabolic diseases such as diabetes. We analyzed this effect by treating mice with broad-spectrum antibiotics in their drinking water, which leads to dysbiosis of the microbial colonies in the gut, meaning just blah. All right, after 6 weeks, the effect of steviosides on the glucose tolerance test was completely preserved in the antibiotic-treated animals. The increase of the glycemic values after antibiotic treatment was the same in the stevioside treated group as in the control group. Chart to follow if you want to look at on your own. So, to basically conclude, stevia tastes sweet, yet helps maintain blood sugar control through other pathways outside of just being a good natural alternative to sugar itself. Someone's on antibiotics, again, always work with your medical professional. It holds the potential to help maintain good blood glucose levels, even in the presence of something antagonistic to your very friendly gut microbiome. Again, this is Ralph Turchiano signing off. Hope you find this information of use, and I look forward to seeing you all once again in 7 days. Catch you then. Bye.